I'm really into like Indigenous wisdom at the moment. And one of the things I've learned about the first Americans is that when they make a big decision for their community, they imagine the impact of that decision 7 generations into the future. We don't even think about 1 generation into the future. We just think about like what's going on right now. We don't even really think about our own future, like some of the time. I remember thinking, like literally in March of 2020, this is going to be a mental health crisis. Like whatever happens physically. And as time went on, more so, I thought mental health crisis. And then I started to think, okay, what else could it be? And I had time, of course, to indulge in some of the other areas of interest that I couldn't when I was like traveling and working full on. So I, started reading more about spirituality and ancient cultures and stuff. And I thought this could be a spiritual revolution.
When you say spiritual revolution, it's a very big, broad term. What do you mean?
If I look back and you've led a very nice story of my journey since I changed career, is that it started off with that physical piece. For me, where I was working, there was stress, but people were having heart attacks. Then I spent many years working on mental resilience with people. And emotional regulation was part of that. And that became important again in the pandemic because we were in like close quarters with people and, and it was just very different and it was hard and there was homeschooling and working and everything. What I've seen some of the good things that I've seen as a result of the pandemic is that we've definitely appreciated again the importance of our time in nature. So I think most of us felt that being able to get out and be somewhere green was really important. And because there was like no planes and no traffic, we could see the stars in the sky again. We saw amazing sunsets. People began to appreciate birdsong. And now the studies are showing that time spent in nature actually has a really positive impact on your physical health, your mental health, and your longevity. So, that's one good thing that's come out of it. But are we all still, making time for that, or are we just going back to kind of our old ways? The other things of interest that have come out is that having a purpose that transcends yourself is really important to your mental health particularly, but it will have knock-on effects. So, you could say, well, I do my podcast and I love doing my podcast and I get to meet interesting people and I share that knowledge with others. A lot of that is still to do with self-satisfaction. So having something that doesn't necessarily do anything for you, but gives you purpose in life is really important.
And what could that be? That could be
volunteering. It could be, for me, like I give out a lot of free information on Instagram and not to try to get work or anything like that.